This game is so real, we don't even know we're playing it. Even when we say we know we're playing it, still, you can't get away totally from the sleep that the consciousness chose to get duped in order to exist in this form. If you really, 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 really know that there's only spirit that exists, this form would it would get burnt up, like almost immediately. This is how real this game is. But I want to give a human analogy to help illustrate it better. But that's why I say humility is so important. Never think you got it. Not as a technique, just because you don't got it. Simply. You realize, like, what I'm sharing, basically. You in order for the consciousness to play this game, which it wants to, obviously, it needs to stay asleep a little bit. For most people, a lot. There's no way you can convince them that they're not this human form. It's impossible. They have to go through the evolutionary process. If this is their first human life, or even a few, there's no way. You can't have this conversation. They're not, like, that's not what they want to do. That's not their thing. They're here to eat and sleep and procreate and get drunk and die, and that's what they're here to do. That's why I shared in that video about, I was talking about the yugas. There's never, people have sometimes this pipe dream that they're just, I want to wake everybody up. This world can be totally awake. No, it can't. You can't mess with levels of consciousness. You just can't. And then there's always new levels coming in too. That's why I explained about the yugas. Dark age, technological age, silver age, golden age, and then it reverses. And then it comes back forward again, and then reverses, and on and on and on it goes. So you concentrate on yourself, and that's what you do. That's all you can do anyway. It's not selfish, it's just sensible. And then if spirit wants to move you to help somebody, that will happen organically. It won't be because of some mental concept that you want to save the world. Okay, forgot the title again. What's the title? Oh yeah, consciousness is playing this 3D game, you can say. So to give a human analogy, though, that maybe illustrates the point better, and I'm sure they'll come out with this at some point. They already got some pretty real virtual reality games. I mean, the kind that if you put that headset on and you're riding a roller coaster, you got to, like, sit down. You'll fall down. So let's say they have a super sophisticated. The Matrix was pretty good, the first one. Then it got weird, but the first one was pretty good at depicting this stuff. That's why I like certain movies. I like movies. I like watching something. I don't want to, like, read. I want to see something. So it would be like if they had some kind of headset you put on, all of a sudden then you're transported to, the Himalayas or something. And you really feel like you're there. You don't know you're wearing the headset anymore. That's a danger too. If you do, certain people do plant medicine or some drug, the witness is gone. That happened to me once because I did a crazy hallucinogenic drug in the Amazon because I just wanted to experience it while I was there. I always handled the medicine good, meaning I could see any kind of visions or light, whatever, but I knew I was there seeing it. Yeah, those are the people you want to do medicine with. This one, though, removed the witness, man. I did all kinds of weird stuff. You see, I like pissed on my laptop, I remember. The bathroom was right there, but like I had to do that. And I was talking to a girl, her astral spirit was in my room. I was talking to her earlier, and she went back to her cabin, but then, because the astral body's unlimited, it's not limited to the body. It can float around, so she was back in my room. I don't remember what we were talking about, but I remember I looked away, and then she was gone. And I was like, what happened to her? I was like looking under the bed for her. I thought she's playing. I was tripping. All right, so let's say you have a 3D game headset that you can put on that it's like that. And you're in the Himalayas, and it's cold as hell, and you're like cold. Then there's an avalanche. It's like, oh, you're running from the avalanche. But it swoops you. Then you're like buried under the snow. And you're scared. You're suffocating. You can't breathe. Finally, you die. You feel it. You pass out because you just, and then your buddy like takes the headset off, and you're like, damn, like that. This is like this human life. This is what happens when you leave the body. You're not dead. You're not done. You're not dead. You're in another body. You're in your subtle body, your energy body. But look how many people even have trouble. I see it on the comment. They're like, how do you know though this isn't it? How do you know this isn't, people are so scared to death. Because they don't know they're going to exist, because like they just can't know yet. The identity with the body is so strong they can't break it. I was talking to my Indian friend, and we were talking about how death is just the way it's talked about, marketed. It's like this gloomy, like, oh no, death, what's gonna happen. So we were talking about like, why don't they have some commercials like depicting this, like, you wake up, you're free from the body, and you're like that movie, What Dreams May Come, when Robin Williams dies in a car accident, and then it shows when he's on the astral plane after that. They should show something like that. I haven't never seen any advertisement like that. I mean, you can read it in books and stuff, and see it on some videos. Those videos where people had a near-death experience, those are pretty good. Some are contrived, and you can't get away from society. Like everything's like, how can I get the most views? What do I got to do to stretch the truth and exaggerate so I can get more views? But God always makes sure there's a handful of authentic things. That's like that in any field, actually. Somebody said once, there's like any field there is that exists. There's probably millions. There's only maybe 5% that's actually genuine and authentic. The rest, their motives are, it's about money, or it's about power, or it's about attention, something. It's not pure. It's very difficult to find a pure venue or individual. And that's the problem with doctors and dentists. It's all business for the most part. There's some that have some heart and they genuinely want to help you, but for most, no, you're just something that they can use to fulfill their projections. And that happens in relationships too. Why don't most relationships not work? Because just everybody's using each other. Everybody's using each other on some level technically anyway. That's a given. Now, there has to be a reason why, like, we're doing what we're doing or talking to who we're talking to. But is the using happening in the most supreme way? That's the thing. Is it a supreme selfishness, or is it egoic selfishness? So predominantly, nowadays it's very egoic, and people are just trying to consume each other to meet their egoic projections, which then it's not going to satisfy them. Their projections are just going to grow more. They're going to get more empty inside, because you start to see like, whoa, nothing satisfies me. So then you get more hungry to try to find satisfaction, and then you bottom out at some point, and then a pure, authentic, spiritual sadhaka can be born then. But you have to like go through the levels. But contemplate that and see, like, don't force it, because you can't. Be aware if you try to force something, and then stop it. Don't listen to the spiritual people. Oh, well, they say they can see that or feel that. Why can't I? Don't compare yourself to that. Most of them don't feel either what they're saying. They're just repeating from a book or something else. But contemplate and see, like, do I really realize that this is a game? Or not a game, but whatever word you want to use. Do you realize that you're not this body? All your problems, all your limitations, the things you're trying to transcend, your trauma, etc. Do you realize that's not what you are and who you are? Do you realize that that's a role that you're playing for right now? It has its purpose. It's not meaningless. That's the other thing. The mind takes what I shared, and then said, well, then what's the point of anything? And we have to have these realizations. These questions can't be answered on a mental level. Because the fact that if you ask something like that, like, how do you know what happens when you die, or what's the purpose of life? If you're asking a question, nobody can satisfy you with the answer. There has to be a shift in your own being, and that will answer it for you. Otherwise, it's just an intellectual mess. And then somebody says something, you'll say, well, yeah, but what about this? I mean, I don't get into those debates because it's useless. If somebody's truly open, because you can feel vibrationally, if they want to debate, or if they want to be, you can say, cleared of their doubts. There's a humility there. That means God is present and he can work with it. He can. So before I forget, because I forgot, I wanted to say, yeah, because of the other videos I forgot. I really enjoyed that spiritual group that we did, that satsang a few weeks ago. Appreciated seeing everybody there, and that was real nice. I like that. We'll do it again. I got to get situated. I might have to travel and see my mom. So, but we'll hook that up again. And yeah, we're gonna be a little more next time, a little more, like, you can say, proactive. I want to catch stuff out, right? I want to, because that's what we're here to do, to transform. So I want to, if somebody's saying something, I want to stop them and say, wait, but like, what are you really saying? It's going to be more like that. It's not just some like, oh, it's feel good, satsang, yeah, everything's the self and we don't exist. No, it wasn't like that last time, obviously, but just saying, we're going to get more, more to the real deal. And in the meantime, I do some private consultations. My email's on the banner. And so we'll just wrap it up like that. All right, I'll see you.